What's going on, people? SeanPierceJohnson here. I am at Winter NAMM 2019, and one of my favorite places to be, it's Orange Amplifiers. We bleed it. We bleed the orange and black and white here on the channel. And I'm with John, who is a new face that I have not seen at Orange Amplifiers because we are missing our electronics guru, Aid, this year. So we got John shredding away on this pretty sick-looking ESP axe. How are you finding the show so far for yourself?
Pretty good, man. It's definitely a lot to take in, but so far so good.
Awesome. Well, we are going to be talking about two new things that you guys have probably already seen from Orange, but you need to see it from me because we love our Orange amps here. The first thing we're going to check out is the Pedal Baby 100. So, John, let's quickly tell everybody watching what exactly the Pedal Baby is because this is right up my alley.
Mine as well. There's a lot of players out there that run real compact rigs, modelers, pedal boards, etc., and they need something to amplify for stage volume, sustain, stuff like that, feeling like they're actually playing a guitar amp. There are some solutions out there for that, but none of them were inspiring to play, in our opinion. Very sterile, unforgiving, doesn't feel like a guitar amp. So we fixed that. 100 watt, Class AB, no Class D. The input is Class A. It feels like a guitar amp. It responds like a guitar amp, yet it's got enough input headroom to run anything you want into it. Modelers, pedal boards like I'm running today with just saturation pedals. You can do anything with it you want to.
And it's a pretty simple little interface. We'll insert some B-roll shots of it right now. It's only got 3 controls, which is fantastic. And you got on the floor a few different pedals. John's going to run through some sound samples. We've got a Mojo Vibe, a Full Drive 2, a Sur Eclipse, and an Eventide H9, a very cool little assortment of pedals that I think we're going to get a lot out of. So let's go ahead and just hear that clean tone that you've got dialed up right now. Okay, just by itself, I see what you guys are saying, like designing something that a guitar player would want to actually play, because all these little pedalboard power amps, they just got that really kind of sterile sound. That sounds like a good, solid, clean channel of an amplifier. Let's gain it up, man. Choose whichever one you want.
I'm just going to go for a little Hendrixy, kind of slightly broken up vibe.
Yep, that sounds, and not only that, just sitting and listening to it, it feels good too.
You can tell that I'm not fighting. You know what I mean? It's not holding me back. It's not uninspiring me.
Exactly. Yeah, the reciprocal nature of the player, the equipment, what you're giving it gives it right back to you, and then some.
Your hair stand up. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's supposed to do. That's why for you to play your best.
Great tone should always make the hairs on your arms stand up.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, so far so good. I'm liking what I'm hearing. Let's first, before we hear the TremLord 30, let's just talk a little bit about it, because this is a bit of a, I would say it's a little bit of a departure for you guys.
It's out of left field for us, and but I'm super excited about this because I'm, a vintage amp guy. I love vintage amps. I've got a ton of them, and we didn't really have anything in that category. And when Aid told me about this amp, I immediately was like freaking out. I was like, oh yes, this is it. What we've got is a Class A 30 watt EL84 driven vintage style amplifier.
Now, by vintage style, we mean those kind of amplifiers with the black, brown, and silver panels that everybody seems to think are just the bee's knees of vintage amplifiers. Sorry, I'm a British amp guy, so sue me.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like those. Our inspiration might have came from that style of amplifier, but we did it. It sounds like an Orange, but it sounds like an Orange with some cool vintage features like all tube tremolo, all tube spring reverb, and non-master volume, bass treble. Real simple, but you can actually get a lot of cool stuff out of it.
And that's what I like to hear. So we're going to hook up the microphone and we're going to be hearing some TremLord. That is sweet. That is sweet stuff right there. It's like it's got everything that you would want to hear from that kind of classic American deal, but it's got its own little flavor. Yeah. Now the interesting thing with this amp, as I've been talking to the guys here, is that you're using a completely different speaker in this, because most of the stuff in the Orange line, it's Celestion, but what we got in this one, it's a company called La Voce. Yes. A very interesting speaker choice, and talking to Charlie Cooper, that is, saying it just felt it sounded the best.
Yeah, we love Celestions. You know, they are the voice of rock and roll, have been, and you know, when we were designing the amp, when we were putting it together, we obviously tested all the speakers that are available, and none of them just nailed it. You know what I mean? Adrian had been talking to them. Now, La Voce is not a well-known guitar speaker, but they actually make a lot of different bass speakers for OEM companies. And they sent him a speaker. He really liked it. Put it in there. He wanted to change a few things, so he called them, asked them to do a little something or other. Can't really tell you what, but we got it.
That's
back.
Proprietary information, people.
We got it back, put it in, and that was done. That was done. It's not a cheap speaker. It's not an off-brand speaker. It was custom tailored for this amplifier, and you can tell, you can hear it. It sounds awesome.
It kind of sounds unlike anything that you guys have in anything else that's part of the line, but at the same time, it is characteristically Orange. It's exactly what I want to hear. It's the kind of thing that I hope for. Do you know roughly the timeline on these things right now?
You should be shipping like soon. Yeah. It should be. We might even have them in stock now.
And you might be seeing them on the channel pretty soon, at least I hope. John, thank you so much for walking me through the new products. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of time with them later on in the show, and maybe we'll have a video of that coming later. If you enjoyed this, please do click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and come back for more NAMM coverage very, very soon. Until then, I'm SeanPierceJohnson, wishing you guys all out there great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.